right? Let's go check it out. So I've been using the Pixel 6 for about a year now, and I've got some thoughts. It's been great. It's been very different from every other phone I've ever had, and it's been fascinating. But here are 5 things that I really want them to change for the Pixel 7, and these are also 5 things that you should definitely look out for and ask your favorite tech reviewers about before you actually pull the trigger on the Pixel 7. Just having a good time. He's just having a good time, just juggling in the middle of the street. It's awesome. So the first thing I would like Google to fix is the battery. Now, don't get me wrong, the battery is okay. It takes you from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. just fine, but you will be on your last 5% at the very end of your day, and if the battery life isn't that great, then at least give us good charging. The problem is the 6 only charges at about 21 watts, which seems okay, but it's weird because they sell you a charger that charges at 30 watts. Just the phone can't do it. The Pixel phone cannot use Google's own 30-watt charger to its fullest extent. So what's the point? Still, the fact that it does offer you the charger gives me some hope for the Pixel 7, but it's not just that. Even while charging at full 21 watts, it cuts off at 50% and then trickle charges, supposedly to maintain battery life overall. This is fine and all, but if your battery life itself isn't that great, then maybe, just maybe, you should allow people to charge at the full 30 watts up to 70% and then drop down to a nice trickle. I'm just saying that would improve quality of life so much. Jim Block, Das Hamburger Original, because we're in Hamburg. But that doesn't answer the question, does it? Why is the battery consumption so much anyway? I mean, other Android phones exist, they all use the same operating system, so how come the Pixel doesn't do quite as well? It's got a 4300 milliampere battery, that's nothing to sneeze at. I'm thinking it's the processor. The Pixel 6 came out with the first generation Tensor chipset, and like I always say, don't buy anything first gen. It's basically beta testing. This one works pretty well and gives us a lot of advantages, a lot of smart features, a lot of AI based features, but 2 things it might be doing. Number 1, it might be eating the battery up, and number 2, it's definitely getting hot. See, when you use normal apps, Google Maps, YouTube, all that sort of thing, it works just as well as anything else. But when you start to use those AI machine learning features that the Pixel 6 touts, well, they all work. They're a little bit slow, but they do work. But they do definitely take up a fair bit of battery. And what's more, the phone does get noticeably warm. Not so warm that it'll scald your hand or anything like that, but definitely warm enough for you to notice. So I'm thinking for the Pixel 7, maybe, hopefully, the Tensor Core Gen 2 will probably perform better, but hopefully it doesn't take up any more battery because we can't afford that, but also produces less heat. Basically, I'm hoping it's more efficient. If it takes less power to do the same thing or more, then it means it generates less heat. And that's the key thing to look out for from Tensor Gen 2. Okay, I have to find out. Hey Google, are hamburgers actually from Hamburg?
While the inspiration for the hamburger came from Hamburg, the sandwich concept was invented much later. During the 19th century, Hamburg became famous for their beef, from cows raised in the regional countryside.
Yeah, that really clears it up. And the third thing I would like them to fix is the camera. Why the camera, you might wonder? It's the Pixel. It's got one of the best cameras in the market, yes? Well, not exactly. See, I find the video performance to be average at best, and night video, honestly, you're better off with an iPhone or a Samsung phone. Pixel definitely has a ways to go to catch up with those guys. And when it comes to photos, I find that you can get really good photos at night. During the daytime, you can get good photos, but they generally tend to be over processed. It's as if the Pixel still thinks that it's on the old sensor of the Pixel 5s, and they just never got past the processing. It's over sharpened and over contrasty to the point where I don't find it quite that pleasing. I think the Pixel does take good photos, but I still think they have a long ways to go, especially during videos. Oh, and I forgot one more thing with respect to the camera. No manual control. I find that absolutely annoying. Now you might say iPhone doesn't give you manual control either. No one's complaining about that. Well, yes and no. See, the iPhone actually does give you a little more manual control than the Pixel. You go into cinematic video mode, you can control the virtual f-stop. If you try and do some astrophotography on the iPhone, well, you can control the exposure time. You want a 5-second exposure, a 10-second exposure? Done. You can do that. The Pixel actually doesn't allow you. It does have an astrophotography mode, I know, but it gets to choose when it goes into astrophotography mode, and then you don't get to choose how long you give it. It just does its own thing. And yes, the results are pretty damn interesting, but just give me control, damn it. Let me do my thing. Sometimes I just want a 10-second exposure. It's my camera. Let me do it, Google. Why? Now, the fourth thing I would like for Google to fix is the damn fingerprint sensor. It comes with an in-display fingerprint sensor. I've got nothing against those, but it is slow. Now, the first time you try it, you think, oh, it's okay, it's not that bad, you can get used to it. And you can, and you do, but if you do it every day for a whole year, it can get a little bit frustrating, especially if you've ever tried those gorgeous fingerprint sensors that go in the power button. Those things are so much faster. Once you use those, this is kind of disappointing. Now, I'm not wishing for Face ID or anything, although the option would be nice. I just want a faster fingerprint unlock. Is that too much to ask? The fifth thing that I would really like for Google to change is the smart features. I'm not talking about the AI and ML stuff. I'm not talking about being able to erase people from photographs. No, that stuff is amazing. That stuff works really well. But there's the whole suite of other features that Google gives. Like, I cannot count the number of times that my Pixel phone has caught incoming spam calls and warned me about it and saved me so much time. And I love the fact that I can just say decline and the phone just cuts the call, right? But there's a whole bunch of these features, some of which are not available to the rest of us around the world. Features like in the US and certain parts of the world, if you call a toll-free number, Google will tell you your wait time when you're in queue on hold. That's amazing. I love that feature and I wish it was there where I lived, but it just isn't. And all this is possible because Google's vast amount of data collection and analytics and whatnot, and they're clearly capable of giving it. I don't know what stops them. Maybe it's data privacy laws around the world. I don't know what it is, but that's just something I'd really, really love to see. Oh, and one more thing. Just for me, Google, if you're listening, can we get our color back? I don't know if you guys have used Android 13, but the colors you get to choose in your interface are strictly what Google decides is okay for you. And they're all just dull pastel shades. Very elegant, very nice, but only what Google deems is appropriate. And I get it. I get that it works for Apple. I get that it works for the iPhone, but come on, man. It's Android. We've got to have a little fun. Google, if you're listening, can we get our colors back? Let's put some hot pink in there. Let's get a splash of red, maybe some violet. Why not? And that's it. 5 things that I definitely think needs to be improved from the Pixel 6 to the Pixel 7s, and 5 things that you need to look out for before you pull the trigger on Google's next flagship. I'll see you in the next one. Stay happy, stay peaceful, stay colorful. Namaste.